So if you have one of the newer iPads out, you know just how powerful some of these can be. And then tack on to the new iPad Pros with an M4 chip, you are loaded with features that you've never had before on an iPad. And with iOS, iPadOS, and macOS 26, it is magnified even further, and Apple has blurred the lines from what an iPad can do. That bridges the gap for what Macs can do also. Now, while there are a lot of overlaps, like I said now, and a lot of it has come very far along from where it was initially years ago, let's talk about a couple things that it still cannot do, and that is obviously function as a primary computer. So this is obvious, but again, diving deeper into some of these changes, there is no terminal or true coding tools here, and I wanted to get this out of the way first because it seems to be the most common issue about the iPad that has come up. So if you were in your settings and you really wanted to deep dive and customize and tweak as needed, that's not going to be something you can do. For a specific user like a developer or software engineer, I can see how this would really deter them from going all in on iPad OS as opposed to Mac OS. It's just not going to give you terminal access, and there's no way natively to navigate Xcode or build apps directly on an iPad. So that's out of the question still right now with iOS 26. One of the bigger and really more questioning things to me is why we still don't have multi-user support. This one is baffling, and really I'd argue that this is one of the most feature requested items that has yet to be integrated. Macs have almost always allowed for things like this. You can log off of your account and either have a guest mode or have somebody else have their own private account set up on the same hardware. The accounts are all completely separate with their own apps, information, Apple IDs. It's crazy. Like, we still don't have anything like that in an M4 iPad Pro. It's pretty crazy. I'm not sure why that is, but here we are with that. iPads were made with the same sentiment as iPhones to be a personal device, so there's no way to create an account for yourself and your significant other. There are some workarounds like custom focus modes and things like that, but it still just seems crazy, especially when you take into account that a $500 Mac Mini can create multiple users' accounts. Then, especially if you have an iPad Pro, a $1,300 iPad Pro nonetheless still can't do. One thing they have actually increased over time is the ability to not only share with AirPlay and Continuality, but external display support functionality. Some iPads in the lineup currently do actually support extended monitor experience. With iPad 26, it makes it even better. Using an iPad Pro specifically with another monitor, game changer, works great. You can extend your monitor, you can just duplicate and mirror your screen. That's great, but you might need an iPad Pro with a Magic Keyboard that can cost over $2,000 depending on your specs. And for that price, you can be able to get a secondary monitor, and the extended monitor support ends with just one at that. Can't connect multiple monitors. You do need additional hardware depending on how old your monitor is that you're trying to connect, and you just can't do that with an iPad at this point in time. Also, if you close or lock your iPad, the external monitor still shuts off. Again, it's just so hit and miss right now from a full-fledged functionality. And then another thing comes in the way of customization with typical peripherals like a mouse, trackpad, keyboard, external webcams, and pretty much anything else. If you use I don't know, it just blows my mind right now. You can get an iPad Magic Keyboard like we talked about, but it is still so limited. A mouse support is great, but it ends so easily from Bluetooth support, from what you can connect, that it really makes this a tough sell. One other thing that doesn't necessarily is really just not applicable to everyone, and it's really a fine audience that it'll appeal to, but audio management. There's some instances where you might want to have two audio sources going at once. You can't do that. Can't listen to music on YouTube Music, Apple Music, whatever your Spotify, whatever your streaming preferences, you can say. You cannot have that going while you edit a video or do anything like that. With iOS 26 and iPadOS 26, it brought much better audio experience, like being able to change default mic settings. But still, audio output can easily be fixed, and hopefully that will come in the near future as well. As a standalone device, being able to really just kind of jump around, utilize it, how it's changed into being more Mac-like with all of these additional aspects and tools, having your new menus up top as a traditional Mac would. It's a step in the right direction and definitely one worth monitoring over time. The liquid glass consistency between iOS, macOS, visionOS, all of these things are great to have. But still, at the end of the day, if you can't use this as a full functioning computer like Apple initially wanted to sell you on, then it really just kind of goes by way of the dodo bird, and you're very limited into what it can do. So, again, these are my thoughts. What do you guys think down below about how iPad OS 26 is built to manage more regular tasks and to be a computer replacement? Do you guys feel it's there? Obviously, I don't think so yet, if you couldn't tell from this video, but I think there's definitely a potential change in the horizon that will make this much more functional than ever before. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.